Okay, so this is what the new FastTrack 4 looks like. So
okay, layout wise and design wise, you have totally changed the interface actually.
Yes. So going to .NET4 gives us a lot more facilities than we had with .NET2 as far as look and feel goes. So it's self-sizing screens in that now as well. So if I reduce the size of the screen, you'll see on some of the other screens when I go into it, they will self-size as we go through. So some key to the areas, apart from just the look and feel of it, is from a technical point of view, if we can run it on SQL Server 2012, we can use what's known as data compression. That gives up to about a 25% speed improvement. We can also use a HTTP compression, which will speed up access, especially from remote users. So you've got users in Saudi and Kuwait and stuff, don't you?
All right.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
that will make their access a lot faster as well. So that's some basic technical improvement. Some of the other things we've got. Let me just go through it. I'll come back to these key buttons before. But if we go into this, is just configured as a standard demonstration. So obviously it's not your system, but basically if I go back again, what we're seeing here on this line here, where it's got corporate governance through to asset management, that's what it would appear on your top line. So currently, on your current system, you've got, I believe, system, knowledge, and compliance on your top line.
Compliance, so right.
You'd have those three buttons here. So you'd have a grey system button, a yellow documents button, and a pink a compliance button. So that's what you'd have on your front. So then when you click on an entry to go into those, you'd end up in documents with the screen looking like this. So, so what's on your function, or the second line down on your screen, is what now is appearing in this line that I'm going through at the moment. So you would have here documents, engineering, I think indexes, and something else, I think reports you've got on yours. So that's what will appear here. Up here is now telling me who's logged in. I've got a search button as well. And these are new things. There's a back button now, which everyone's been asking for. There's a refresh button, and there's a home button. So the home button takes me back to that front screen. So on that. Within that, we then have our list of libraries as per the way that you currently have the system. And when I click on a library, obviously I will get up a list now of all the documents that are in that library. We've got a breadcrumb here that allows us to go back to where we came from. So I can go backwards and forwards on that, in addition to these home and back buttons there. Now, what is on your upper process menu currently is now showing in a sidebar here. So we've changed the way that that works and looks. So if I go to, as you can see, where I go, I've then got sub-menus on those as well, coming down to here that I can click and select from. Our list of documents, again, has changed. Now, some of the changes, if you were upgrading, we would convert your system as is, so without any new functionality, although the functionality is in there. But there is functionality which we can integrate down the track. For example, the list of documents. Now, this screen is configurable, so we can actually change what fields show on this in this list if you wanted to. If you don't want to, obviously.
So we can add the columns. Any column we can add from the forms?
Correct.
All right.
So, and what's this list of records is particular to the function you're in. So we can have a different list of columns for documents to cars to audit. So each of those can have their own set of columns. It's got the normal things that, you know, clicking on a heading for sorting, paging through, all those normal things. What we've got here, these coloured lights are the traffic lights. Do you use the traffic lights at all at the moment?
We are using this with the status change.
Correct. So same thing, but now they're showing as a little round circle there. The little icon here tells me that there's a document attached to that record, and the other information is as per usual. We can also set up tooltips. See whether they're coming up on the screens as well, so you can point at things and it'll tell you what it is. From that point of view, now one of the big areas is this related mapping we've got.
Yes.
So what it allows us now is to see, let's see, what am I in? There we go. So we've got this function now all the way through FastTrack. So what it does is it's visually showing what would normally be listed in the related tab at the bottom of a document management screen. So all the things that are related back or linked to this document, in this case here I chose 24, poll 24, is then it's showing me that it's got links to some federal legislations, to some health and safety documents. It's in the policy manual. It's also in these other indexes. So, and I can, from there, I can drill down. So I can look to see what's related to the federal legislation by clicking on this drill down button, or I can open that document by clicking on the that button, and it's jumped into that document, as you can see there. So it's another method of navigating too. So I still can do the normal thing. So coming here, if I click on that document, no, it's saying it doesn't exist, but if I had that document in my system, it would have opened it. And yeah, all the normal things for that. So to work through a document, we can use the workflow. I'm not sure how you do it currently, but when you go into the document info, I don't think this did it on yours. It brings up the workflow. Does your current system show the workflow on the left-hand side when you open document?
Separately.
Yeah. All right. So we now open it as part of the document information, so you can see both together. Still works the same way. If I want to check out the document, I can click on the step there and it'll open it. And I've got the lower processor menu, which we really haven't changed on that. So I can look at the history of the document. It all comes up, or I can look at related or any attachments, those type of things through there. So that really, bottom half, hasn't really changed. Sorry, someone asked a question? No? So yeah, so that really hasn't changed a lot.
All right. What about the libraries? User can create the libraries, means admin.
Sorry, say again?
Admin can create the libraries by their end?
Yes.
Or
yes.
they have to run a script? Or can you show us creating one library?
Or how to create it or whatever?
Yeah.
So basically that side really hasn't changed. So on our menu, just as your current one does, there's an admin button if you're an administrator. So, and it brings up an admin, a separate admin menu. And on that admin menu, you've got a setup button, or option, sorry, on the menu. You click on that, and it brings up that screen. So this is now the list of all my libraries that I've got set up in Knowledge. And if I want to, I can, also in policies, I can open that particular library and I can change the information on it. So that would look similar to what your current system does. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay. So how about the compliance forms?
The compliance module?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, what do I go back? So I go back here, if I look at compliance. So I've got audits and corrective actions per your system. Now, if I go into a corrective action, again, libraries come up. So again, same type of concept, list of the records as you would currently get them with your traffic lights and such on it. Again, this is configurable. So, for example, whether the date is the date entered or the date by and all that, we can configure all that on that now. Oh, sorry, if I go into a record, so opening a car. Now, one of the new fields we've got on this is this lookup field. So if I click on the little spyglass, it'll give me a list of all the, in this case here, what audits are available to link this back to, which is what your current system has. We've added in this new button here, which is this little eye, and what it allows us to do is look up any related record, any of the records of the same type against this audit. So when I'm creating a car now, what it allows me to do is I can say what other cars exist against this audit, and by clicking on that button, it would bring up, no other ones there. Anyway, this would then normally display a list of any other cars against that particular audit. Or, so I can put that little button against any field, so I can look at any cars against existing cars against a topic, or in this case here I've got a regulation, which is my standard. I can see what other ones have been raised against that. So that's a new feature that we can add onto screens. The other new feature we can add onto screens is putting in GPS coordinates as well. So I don't have anything on this one, but if I edit, so what I've done here is in this location here, I've added on some a GPS coordinate to it, which now if I click on that little lookup button, it will jump to a GIS system, and I've just got it hooked up to Google Maps.
Is it integrated with the Active Directory?
Pardon?
Is it integrated with Active Directory now?
Were you talking about for logins?
The users. I'm talking about the users. You are picking up the users now from Active Directory, or we have to create manually?
You still have to create the users within FastTrack. So, but it's a single sign-on from logging in.
Means the same way we are creating right now, we have to follow the same process, or is it integrated with Active Directory? We can pick up from there.
No, from the Active Directory, when you go to log in, it automatically identifies who the user is and logs you in. But that user has to be set up within FastTrack. So
okay, so a custom password, or take a Windows login credentials?
No, yeah, well, it's automatic. So when you go in, so when I started this up, it just automatically goes into it because it's got single sign-in. So it's picking up who I am from my network login, and automatically going into it. So if let me quit out of it. So if I go back in and start it up again, it automatically goes in and it's picking me up from my Windows login automatically. But I have to be set up in FastTrack as well.
Okay, separately we have to set up in FastTrack.
Yep. So, yeah, so when you set up your users in FastTrack, they need to be set up the same as they are in your Windows directory. So you've got to have the same user code, user ID. And if you create the user ID in FastTrack, the same as your Windows login, it will automatically just sign you in. Are your FastTrack user IDs the same as your network IDs? User IDs.
ID we are using the same way, yeah.
So do they automatically sign in now?
It is right now automatically, yes. But the problem, if you want to send the email for a new user which is not registered in FastTrack, we cannot find that. We have to register that user to send him the email.
That's correct. So that hasn't.
We lost a connection.
Yeah.
We just want to reconfirm about that emailing process. Is it covered in the new system that user can send email to anyone without registering that user?
Can they? In other words, you want to be able to manually put in an email address.
Okay, so we have to enter that user before sending an email, right?
Let me think about it. We probably can get around that by configuration, by giving you a manually entered email address on a transaction that you're doing. So, what type of record are you trying to email somebody?
What kind of record?
Even this compliance document.
Means document or compliance, anything from here.
Are you talking about staff, people within your company, or are you talking about external people?
Yeah, external or internal? Internal only.
Well, yes. Well, all the internal people do need to be set up in FastTrack, correct?
So we have to set up that user before sending email.
That's correct. Oh, I mean, not a user. In FastTrack, where do I have it now? Question. I haven't got it on here. Take it off. So in FastTrack, we've got three things that need to be set up, or that are set up. One is a list of persons.
Okay.
Second to that is a list of positions. And third thing is a list of users, which are logins. You can set people up throughout the system.
Right.
Now, what we can do, if that's a thing that keeps changing and it's a bit of work for you, we can supply you with an Excel spreadsheet for doing that. So we've got the ability to create a list of people off a spreadsheet.
Then we can import that user list.
That's correct.
Okay.
So that facility is available too.
Yeah, we will come after you finish this. After you show this. So something else you have to show?
Yep. Just a few more things yet. On this front screen, when you come in, we've got these buttons down the bottom, which is My Diary, My Alerts, and things. Now, what this allows you to do is for the user who logs in, if I click on My Activities, it's a quick way for me to get a list of all the transactions that I'm involved in. So instead of having to actually go into a module and navigate down through it, this has given me all of my current records that I can quickly go into, and if I want to, I can click on it and open that record and work on it and do what I like. What else? My diary, obviously, for that, and alerts. So alerts are a subset of activities. So these alerts are a list of just the records that are overdue for me. So it's a way that makes the users a lot easier than having to actually navigate through FastTrack, because that's available to them on the front screen. One of the next big issues we have in the system is the ability to output to Excel. So now within FastTrack, hang on, where are we? What did I go into? I just want to pick somewhere where I've got some decent data. Yeah, so as part of the upgrade, what we do is we generate this Excel extract for every screen that you have. So for any screen, you can go in now and you can call up a list, and what it will do is generate a dump basically of your system into Excel for whatever the screen area that I've just gone into. So here I've just gone into minor corrective actions, and it gives me creates a spreadsheet of all the data that's in that library that I just went into. So I can now play around with that data in Excel any way I like on there. It creates this using a template. So and you've got access or control over your own template, so you can change the color and the look and the format of columns and all that in the template before you output it on that. So that functionality is available for every module, so whether we're talking documents or audits or cars. We've got that. Also, with the new version, we've got pivot tables, which are you aware of pivot tables?
Yeah, we are using that separately.
So the same thing again, we can generate a dump of your data into a pivot table. Again, the pivot table is based on a template that you can manage and control yourself, so you can design your own pivot tables that you want to analyze your data with. And when it comes out. So basically what will happen now is that it'll take a dump of what's in the system, a snapshot of what's in the system, and generate a pivot table for me, which, if you're aware of pivot tables, gives you all that normal functionality. So I've now got a graph here being an analysis of what this data is. I can filter it. I can say, just give me the production units. I can go down or up on those. And I can drill down on it. So if I want to see what makes up this number 8 of audits here, I can click on that and I get a list of those as well. So you've got that functionality in it. What else have we got? GPS.
How about conversion to the PDF? Does it support all the Office documents?
Yeah, saving on the PDF. Yes, we can do that for an Office document.
Including the Visio, right?
Yes. So you're talking about a library of Visios here, aren't you? That you want to then save as a... Yep.
There's a Visio in the library, then finally we want to publish this for the end user on the portal, the self-service I'm talking about.
Yep, so you want the document to appear on the portal as a PDF.
Exactly.
Yep.
That can be done, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, about the functionality is fair enough. We can look into it later as well. We are more concerned about the migration process. You know our whole environment, what we have right now.
Yep.
So what is your plan, how you can migrate or upgrade it to the latest version? And how many days you require, because since it is in operation, so we have to look into it, how many days we require for real migration.
Right. The way we go about it by setting it up in a test environment. So what we would do is get you to copy your existing production system into a test system. And
with the data.
Sorry? With the data.
Complete data.
Yes. And we'd upgrade that test system for you then to play with it and verify that it's all correct. So at that stage, you're still using your production system live. So you're not down for it. Now, that migration that we do... So
we lost the audio.
Sorry?
We lost the audio.
Okay.
We lost the audio.
All right, I'll repeat. So,
Yeah.
right, we take a copy of your production system into the test, and we upgrade it in test while you still use production live.
Okay, parallel to the test, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And we then run a set of scripts, or we develop a set of scripts for that upgrade, which once you've tested and approved that it's all happy in the test environment, we can run basically within an hour, really. Plus, I've got to change documents too, don't we? So, but basically, you will only be down for a very short amount of time.
All right, sounds great. So it will take all the customized fields as well. You know, we have created a lot of customized fields in the current system.
Yeah, well, it should keep everything that you've got. So we're not changing. We're not. The migration really is a in-place update. So everything.
And what version of SQL Server you are using for the upgraded?
Sorry, what version of Word? Sorry, what was the question?
SQL Server. Database. What database version you are using?
Oh, right. So yes. So from a database, we prefer to have SQL Server 2012 Enterprise. Do you have that available?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
And framework?
And for Office, we need Office either 2010 or 2013.
2013. Right.
So we need, and Windows. So sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah. Can we see that web part means a website or self-service, what you call it, a portal for the end users?
We don't change that. So the portal with the end users will be the current portal you have. So because so this FastTrack is just publishing into that same portal. So your portal screen won't change at all.
Okay. So about the licensing, there is no change in the license once we upgrade it.
Correct.
This is our understanding, right?
Sorry?
There is no change in the licensing.
No.
This is what we understand. It will remain as it is, right?
Correct.
Is it possible some discount we can use?
Yeah, after upgrade, we are expecting some. Maybe you don't want to hear this question.
Yeah, I'll keep turning the sound off. Sorry, can you ask the same question again?
Yeah, I will be doing. Right now, we are getting your invoices on quarterly basis. Okay.
Right.
So if we pay you on yearly basis, do you offer any discount on that?
I'll have to go to the accounts people and ask. That's beyond my pay grade. Yeah, I'm sure we can offer you some discount if you want to pay annually.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so I'll put that forward. So there is a cost of upgrading, which is the cost of our services to do so, which is roughly about about $7,000 Australian. So
Okay.
now, what we would need is VPN access to your system or to the test system to develop these scripts. So yeah, we don't want access to your production system, just the test system. Is that possible?
Yeah, sure. We can arrange that for you. For that QMS portal, can we restrict some users to access some documents? Right now, it's open to everyone. Everyone can access any document. So how can we achieve that? Do we have to like some kind of script or something?
Yeah, normally that would have to be done at your end on on access to that either that URL or that location on disk. Are you talking about different groups of people?
Kind of.
What we, I mean,
we can make some groups so we can add those documents so not everyone can will have access to that document.
what we can do is we can create subfolders in that location for each index or each manual.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, from a network access point of view, can put different security on each of those folders.
Okay.
That's really, otherwise it's because the portal's really outside of our direct control of FastTrack.
Mm. Yeah. All right, Greg. So far it seems okay.
Let's know yearly what
Okay.
discount we can get.
He said he will check with the accounts department. Okay, so what we will do, first can you FTP or I don't know how big this file will be, the recording you have done.
Yep.
So can you send it so we can share with other team members, they can have a look to it.
Yep. So,
And we will come back to you for details on the server.
okay. All right, and I'll send you an email on what we can offer for an annual support agreement.
Yeah. Right. 20 or 30% will be more than enough for us.
Actually, we have something for 2 years, we'll get 3rd year free.
Okay.
All right, Greg. Thanks for your time.
All right. Well, thank you. Give me a day to edit this file because it'll have a lot of stuff on the edge of it, which I'll have to clean up. I'll do that and hopefully upload it by the end of tomorrow.
No problem.
All right.
With us.
Thank you.
Send me email number.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.